Yeah, I mean, we're seeing huge electricity growth around the world, really energy growth around the world. And there's a lot of offerings out there, and we tend to talk about only what's new, what's coming. At ABB, one of the things that we're focused on is energy efficiency. And so there's a great opportunity for us, 45% of the energy through motors, like you said, that's going to double. So what can we do to make that more efficient? We think that there's offerings out there now that exist that can address about a third of the emissions challenge out in the world. And you do that through energy efficiency. So a huge opportunity, and it's with offerings that exist now.
When I take a look at the energy transition globally, you see a lot of great stuff is happening. You see the rise of the renewables when it comes to the cost advantage, huge cost advantage when it comes to solar and wind. That said, when it comes to the energy infrastructure, specifically, let's say grid, for example, there seems to be a real bottleneck here. How do you solve that?
Yeah, the grid has to grow 20 to 30% faster in the next decade than it has before. And to your point, there's a huge bottleneck. We're seeing companies look behind the meter. So a lot of the data center companies and others are looking at, can they put in their own power infrastructure and what can they do? And for us, we're looking at offerings that can bring renewables online faster and in a more stable way. So we've got synchronous condensers and other technologies that ABB can deploy, which allows to bring those renewables online faster and in a more cost-efficient way. So we're trying to be part of the solution now. It's a big challenge for the grids to grow.
Brandon, I'm pretty sure that isn't a Swiss-Swedish accent I hear. I think it might be North American of some description, maybe even a US accent as well. Yeah. I know ABB is big in the States. I think your headquarters are in North Carolina. In terms of the incoming administration, what does that mean for the aspirations of ABB? And you talked about the transition already as well. There are questions about the incoming administration's appetite for energy transition. Yeah,
US is the largest market for ABB. So a large portion of our business there, over 20,000, about 20,000 employees that are there. We've invested $14+ billion in growth and in acquisitions in the U.S. in the last decade. So it's a really important market for us. And we see that there's great opportunity going forward. The energy transition, the IRA and some of these things were bipartisan, and so we'll see how those play out as the new administration comes in. But we think growth will happen in the U.S.
Do you think Trump, from the mood music, is going to gut the IRA, though?
No, look, I'll let politicians speculate on politics, but I think...
look, you'd be not doing your job if you only look 6 months out. You've got to look a couple of years out at least as well.
The nice thing for ABB, whether you talk about the IRA or tariffs or any of the topics, if you look in the U.S., 75% of what we sell is produced there. If you look in Europe, 90+% of what we sell is produced in Europe. China, 85+% of what we sell in China is produced in China. And so we didn't jump on to the globalization of the supply chain. We've kind of stayed local for local. We take care of our customers and serve them where they are. And we think that that's advantageous for ABB going forward.
And that buys you some immunity on trade wars.
It does. It allows us some flexibility.